Last week, I uploaded a new video to LinkedIn announcing a new product that the team at Peg have been working on for the last 6 months, which allows you to truly measure the ROI of influence marketing and know that for every dollar that you spend, you get X dollars back. The video just kind of went nuts. We were just inundated with questions and emails and demo requests. And I mean, it was incredible to see how much this clearly resonated with people. It's clearly a problem that a lot of people have. And a question that we got asked a lot was essentially, how did we do it? Or more specifically, did we build an attribution model? And the simple answer to that is no. What we really wanted to do was focus on building technology where you could be completely sure that the data is 100% accurate and attributable. And so what I'm going to try and do is explain to you how we went about building the technology and how we managed to achieve an 11 times higher conversion rate than any other ad channel for one of our clients. And I'm going to try and do it in like 3 minutes, 41 seconds. So we started with the classic conversion funnel of prospects in, customers out. And we're going to keep this simple with 3 different stages of awareness, consideration, and action. And whilst this will vary for different companies and different products, we're going to keep the awareness as views, consideration as link clicks, and action as sales. Now, for most influencer marketing campaigns, they look something like this. They can only track the awareness piece. On some more advanced campaigns, they're moving into the consideration phase by taking into account things like click-through rates. And for the much more advanced campaigns, they're following it through all the way to the end and looking at sales by using things like trackable links or coupon codes. Now, what we found was industry average conversion rates tended to be very low. So you're looking at maybe something like a 2% click-through rate from the piece of content to a landing page, or around about 0.5% of that actually converting to a sale. So what we wanted to try and achieve was something more like this, where we would dramatically increase the width of the bottom of the funnel. So step 1 was about being able to track data. So we started by building tracking links that would then drive someone through to a landing page and then would connect to multiple other data sources that you already use, like Shopify, Apps Flyer, Google Analytics, etc. This way, you could be sure that for every dollar spent on an influencer, you know how many dollars you're getting back. Step 2 was about developing an incentivization framework. Here we looked into things like behavioral economics and psychology to develop a framework that would dramatically increase the conversion rates at each of the stages. You can think of it like this. For someone to buy your product, they have to have a level of interest in the product and a level of urgency to want to buy it now. The goal with this framework was to say, how can we dramatically increase both the interest and the urgency someone has in buying a product? And we do this with a framework we developed called influencer productization marketing. Step 3 was about introducing dynamic remarketing. The goal here is again to try and dramatically increase the conversion rates at each of the stages by re-engaging those in the funnel who weren't previously engaged. Here we would keep track of anyone who viewed the content but didn't click through to the landing page, or who clicked through but didn't end up buying the product, and then retargeting them with adverts. Now, as any digital marketer will know, remarketing is incredibly powerful because you get much higher conversion rates and therefore much higher ROI if you're retargeting people who already have a level of interest in your brand and product. So one way you could look at this is you're not doing influencer marketing, you're feeding your funnel with warm prospects that then you can retarget to. Think of it like this. Everyone has a trust spectrum, and at one end of the spectrum are your closest friends and family. At the extreme other end of the spectrum are probably politicians right now. Brands are somewhere closer to the politician end, but influencers are much closer to the friend end of the spectrum. So again, you can look at this as a way to feed your funnel with warm prospects because of the association between the influencer and the brand. Then we bring in the dynamic element by A/B testing these remarketing adverts. Test A would be a generic advert for the brand, and test B would be influencer related in some way. You would then keep track of which is performing best, and as usual, optimize and double down. Then you bring this all together in the Peg platform by including both the influencer content and the remarketing adverts that you've created, and bringing this all together to measure the combined ROI. So to recap on all of this, the methodology started with trackable links and linking that to your existing data sources so that you have one source of truth. Step 2 was about designing an incentivization framework to try and dramatically increase the conversion rates at each of the stages of the funnel. Step 3 was about bringing in dynamic remarketing, again to try and increase the conversion rates at each of the stages of the funnel by re-engaging those who weren't previously engaged. Then bring all of that together and you've got a methodology for truly measuring the ROI of influence marketing and being able to dramatically increase the width of your conversion funnel. Now, what about things like what platform should you use? What kind of influencers should you work with? What kind of industry averages can you expect from things like conversion rates and click-through rates? And the reality is, we don't know yet. But this is where you come in. If you've got a campaign on right now, or you've got one coming up, for a short period of time, we are going to offer to teach you our methodologies for how we go about doing influencer marketing and give you access to the new platform completely for free. And the reason that we'll do this is because what we want to do is gather as much data as possible from different campaigns and different companies and learn things like these sort of harder questions to answer, like industry averages, so that one, we can improve the product, and two, so that then we can take those learnings and share them back with the industry so that we can all create much more impactful campaigns. If that's something that you're interested in, go to peg.co/performance, fill in your email, and one of us will get back in touch with you if we think you're eligible. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to put them in the comments rather than messaging me directly. And that way, when I answer them, it might be useful for other people to see the answers as well. And if there's anyone else that you think might find this video interesting or useful, feel free to tag them in the comments so that they're notified about it as well. Good luck.